Okay, so ready to dive into uh, a story that's, well, it's kind of as relevant today as it was like thousands of years ago.
Yeah, definitely.
We're talking about Joseph,
Right, Joseph.
and we're using Bookish Bites. I think that's what it's called.
Bookish Bites, Bible Stories, Lessons.
Bookish Bites Bible Stories Lessons
Yeah.
podcast. Yeah, is our starting point. But this goes way deeper than, just the basic story,
Oh,
right?
absolutely, yeah.
We're going deep, deep, deep on, resilience, forgiveness, all that good stuff.
Yeah, the stuff that really makes you think.
Exactly. And holding on to hope when things get rough, right?
Yeah, when life throws those curveballs, like a lot of curveballs, like in Joseph's case.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
So, it's not just like a nice feel-good story.
Right.
Joseph's journey, man, it takes us to some like really dark places.
Yeah, definitely. Betrayal, injustice, all those things.
Years of hardship.
Makes you think, like, how would I react if that happened to me?
Totally, totally. And we're not talking like a little, sibling rivalry here.
No, this is serious stuff.
We're talking like Joseph's own brothers. They sell him into slavery.
I know, it's wild.
And it's all because of that, the coat of many colors.
Yeah, that famous coat.
It's like Shakespearean,
Oh, totally. The level of betrayal and everything.
That envy. Yeah, it's crazy.
And that coat, it's really more than just a coat,
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's like a symbol.
It's like a symbol of favoritism, obviously.
Right. But also.
But I think it's deeper than that. It's like it speaks to those insecurities we all have, that need to be seen, to be acknowledged, to like measure up.
Yeah, totally. It's like, do I belong?
Yeah.
Am I good enough?
Yeah, exactly. And for Joseph's brothers, well, it triggers this like toxic competition.
And it makes you wonder, right? Because we see this kind of thing all the time.
All the time, yeah.
Like in families, workplaces, friendships even.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's like what happens when that need for validation, like, turns bad?
Yeah.
Becomes destructive.
It can really warp your perception, lead to bad choices. And
Yeah.
we see that with Joseph's brothers. Look what they did.
Exactly. So he's sold into slavery, ends up in Egypt. You'd think, okay, that's it, right? Downhill from here. But here's where it gets interesting.
It takes a turn.
A big turn. Joseph actually starts, rising in Egyptian society.
Really starts to make something of himself.
Gains trust, gets a good position.
Right. You'd think things are looking up.
And then, bam, another blow.
Just like that.
False accusation, thrown in prison.
It's like adding insult to injury,
Totally. It's like, what kept him going? Seriously.
Yeah, because this isn't just like a minor setback. He loses his freedom, his reputation.
Everything.
Right?
Everything. And I mean, that kind of experience could break a person.
For sure.
But for Joseph, it's like it refines him.
He doesn't give up.
Doesn't give up. He holds on to his faith.
Yeah, his faith is important here.
Super important. And even in prison, he's using his abilities, like interpreting dreams, and it earns him a reputation.
Word gets around.
Leads to that crazy turn of events.
Oh, yeah, this is where it gets wild.
He ends up interpreting dreams for the Pharaoh.
The Pharaoh.
Of all people. I mean, it's like from the depths of despair comes this like incredible opportunity.
It's like a movie.
Totally. And it makes you think about leadership too.
Oh, definitely.
What qualities did Joseph have that allowed him not just to survive, but to thrive in that kind of high-pressure situation?
Right. Was it resilience, intellect, or was it something more?
Right. And then to top it all off, we have the reunion.
The reunion.
Years after the betrayal, there's a famine. Joseph's brothers, they have to travel to Egypt for help. And guess what?
They have no idea.
They have no idea they're standing right in front of the brothers they wronged.
Talk about intense.
Talk about a moral dilemma, right?
Yeah.
What would you do? I mean, seriously, if you were Joseph, how would you even begin to process all of that?
All those emotions.
The hurt, the anger.
The temptation for revenge.
Oh, yeah. I think most of us would be tempted to, give them a taste of their own medicine.
At least a little bit, right?
But Joseph, he chooses a different path.
He does.
And it speaks volumes about his character.
Absolutely.
He decides to test his brothers.
He wants to see if they've changed,
See if they're truly sorry for what they did.
Yeah, and that's the big thing here, right? True forgiveness. It's not just saying it's okay.
No, it's deeper.
It's a process. And it often means the person who hurt you, they got to acknowledge the harm they caused, and they got to change, like really change.
Exactly. So there's this incredible tension as Joseph is interacting with his brothers, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's not telling them who he is.
It's a secret.
It's a secret.
Keeping them on their toes.
And in the end, he sees their remorse, their regret. And it's only then that he reveals himself.
Talk about an emotional reunion.
Oh, man, I can't even imagine. And this is where the story, I think, it goes beyond just revenge,
Right.
right?
It's deeper than that. Yeah.
It's something much deeper. It becomes about, like, radical empathy.
Because Joseph chooses to forgive, to reconcile with his family.
It makes you think, like, how many times do we miss out on reconciliation because we're holding on to hurt or anger?
All the time.
Yeah, I know. I've been there. It's hard to let go of those feelings, but Joseph's story really makes you think about, how powerful forgiveness can be.
Oh, yeah.
For the person offering it and indeed the person receiving it.
It's transformative, you know.
Absolutely. And his legacy, it's not just about him rising to power or interpreting dreams.
It's about something bigger.
It's about compassion, the possibility of healing, even from the deepest wounds.
And that's why this story has stuck around for so long.
Centuries.
Centuries, yeah. It's about those universal themes. Betrayal, resilience, forgiveness. They're always relevant.
Always. So as a listener, what really stands out to you in this story?
I think the real question is, how would you be shaped by this kind of experience? Imagine going through that betrayal, the hardship, and then finding yourself in a position of power. Would you seek revenge? Or would you, like Joseph, choose forgiveness? It's something to think about, and maybe see how it plays out in your own life, your own relationships.
It's definitely something to ponder.
Definitely.
All right, that's our deep dive on the story of Joseph. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for having me.